Hello guys, MikuChibi here. Welcome back to Sword on the Factor, and this is another livestream recap where I will be recapping most of the stuff that have been shown in from the livestream. So if you missed out or didn't understand, don't worry, the video will be covering that. The most important stuff will be the collab because we are having collab. Finally, after many years, Sword on the Factor is finally having collab. But before we talk about the collab, we are going to, of course, going through the topics. So there went 4 topics here, but we don't really care about the first one or the fourth one. The only thing we care about is the second one, which is the upcoming event. And then most important stuff, the third one will be about the collab. So let's start with the upcoming event. So for the upcoming event, basically gonna be a lot of rerun event or a lot of events that can be really useful. The first one gonna be the ring campaign. That means the ring for materials will be increased, so you can farm more ring and craft more, especially for those that are trying to get the perfect bonus on the ring. This is gonna be really good, and this one will be available tomorrow, the 7th of January. Next one, on the 9th of January, we're gonna have Xenon Dungeon, where she's gonna give us more skill materials if you need to enhance or level them up or transform. Next up, we have the free ingot banner, which is gonna start on the 15th of January. So this is gonna be really good for those that need to collect a lot of ingot, but also for those that are trying to sell some ingot. Because if you do poll and then sell off some of the ingot, not the rainbow you can't sell the ingot, but if you're selling the rare or the superior ingot, you can make some coal. If you need coal, this can be a good opportunity to make some money. On the same day, we are getting a new event. This is Assault event with a snake. This is the New Year event. We can get some Arcane gems, but also some other stuff, a limited stamp, or we can get some stamp, avatar, etc. Then we're also getting 2 free skills. One of them gonna be really good. This AG here, these are real nice, especially on ring. It gives you flat 200 attack if you limit break it, and also sleep resistant, really good. GOG season 67 will have a pre-season on 15th January, and the rank is gonna start on 21st of January. So keep that in mind, have your schedule open. And we're also getting another campaign for board quest or character quest, where the XP reward is gonna be 2 times. So this can be really good for those that are grinding in board quest. On 16th January, we are getting Elizabeth Dungeon, where she's gonna give us the materials to upgrade our weapon. 21st of January, we are getting a guild campaign where we're gonna get some limited buff that can be really good, especially drop rate increase or more coal, etc. Really depends on which buff you really want. Mostly the drop rate, because you know the drop rate when you're farming is pretty low. 21st of January, we are getting another daily dungeon where you can do it 3 times instead of only once. So this is pretty good for new players that are trying to recoup a lot of materials. On the same day, we are getting Lifa Dungeon, where she's gonna give us niters, small niters. This is enough to limit break a skill to +1. And for the last one, on 28th of January, we are getting another squad jumble. So this is gonna be really perfect if you need some Arcane gems. Squad jumble do gives a lot of Arcane gems. I believe like 3000 Arcane gems, then some extra. So they're gonna be really good during the collab. Alright, finally, let's talk about the collab. So we are having collab, and what are we collabing with? You have probably seen the thumbnail. Yes, we are collabing with Tensura, the slime anime. So you can see we have Kirito on the right side and Rimuru on the left side. It was kind of predictable because, you know, Slime Sky Memory, the game I'm covering on my channel, we do have a collab with Sword Art Online at the moment. And it will be weird if in fact was not collabing with, you know, with Tensura. A little bit weird. And you can see here, this is what we have collab in Slime Sky. If you have not tried it out, it's a turn-based gacha game. If you're into that, you can give it a try. So now we know we have collab with Tensura, and of course we have a lot of topics to talk about here, or that went through a different topics. The first one will be about the event story. So they're gonna talk about the story a little bit. I won't spoil too much. The second one is about login bonus and tunnel mission. Third one will be a little bit link campaign between both the games, Slime Sky Memory and Include Factor. We'll talk more about that. And then fourth one will be about the Avatar order. We're gonna have Avatar gacha, of course. Then fifth one, probably most of the people are waiting for, which is the skill record. We'll also talk about that. And last one, the sixth topic. This one is more about the side story. We are getting more story after the main story. So for the first topic, it will be about the main story. I won't spoil too much, but I'm just gonna do a sneak peek if you are into that. Let's see, so here You can see this is what the story gonna look like. I just hope that's gonna have voice acting, especially in Angry Factor. Most of the story has no voice acting. This is mostly reading through. If you're into that, it can be good. Like a visual novel. I'm mostly into when they have voice acting. It makes the story more enhanced, more enjoyable. But we see. I hope it has voice acting because in Slime Memories we do have voice acting. If this doesn't have it, I might not enjoy the story. We'll see though. This collab will be starting tomorrow, so we'll see. For the second topic, we're gonna talk about the panel mission and the login bonus. So tomorrow we're gonna have the collab scores and everything gonna start. So for the panel mission and the login bonus, we are gonna get some exclusive reward. For example, a con gem, limited stamps, and also some skill reward, which is pretty nice. They didn't showcase what the skill did, but the only thing we know is a 4-star skill reward. Could be good or could be bad. It really depends. So for the login bonus, you have to log in every single day and you are able to get some limited stuff like the skill record, of course, some stamps. You can see here, this is what you can get from the login bonus. And then we have some weird materials. I think this is item where you can transform to a slime. Not sure, we'll see though. And for the panel mission, you have to complete some tasks. And for each task you complete, you are getting some limited stamp. So you're getting a 9 limited stamp here. We have Lumi, Sohei, Hakaru, Hinata, then we have Rimuru again and Veldora. And then we are getting another limited skill here, which is gonna be Veldora. And this one will be also another 4-star, but we don't know what it does. So both Rimuru and Veldora, we don't know what the skill do, but I hope they are good. For the third topic, it was about the link campaign. So we have a campaign between the both game, Sword Art Online in Factor and Slime Sky Memory. We have to work together here. We are just collecting points, that's all. It's gonna be really simple. For those who are playing in your factor, we're just gonna do a dungeon, I believe a daily dungeon, something like that. We have to collect some points, and same goes for those who are playing Slime Sky Memory. We are doing an event, not sure what event it is. I believe it's gonna be released tomorrow, so we have to wait for that. So basically, gonna be simple. We have to do is daily or maybe a repeatable, and try to collect points together. And if we do reach, for example, 250,000 points, for Inter Factor players, we are getting 1,000 con gem, which is pretty good. And for the Slimy Sky Memories, we are getting 3 free polls, standard polls, which is alright. If we reach 500,000 points, we are getting another con gems, 1,500. So in total, 2,500 con gems. And for the Slime Sky Memory player, we are getting a guaranteed 5-star standard, which is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, for the Initial Factor, this is pretty good, but for the Slimy Sky players, this is pretty bad. And then when we reach over 1 million points, we are getting limited stamp. So for Initial Factor, we are getting this silica here, this silica stamp, and for the Slimy Sky, we are getting this million, which has silica's outfit, I believe, right? So this one gonna be really simple, pretty easy to do. And maybe they're gonna change a little bit because getting 1,000 points can be really easy. So maybe they're gonna increase some of the reward or maybe add another milestone. We'll see though. Everything will be posted in their X account where they updated how much we have reached the point. So if you want to follow the update, you can follow their Twitter account there. And for this one, this is a little special. They will be holding a campaign on their Twitter account, something like that. This is mostly for Japanese exclusive, I believe. Not sure, I can't really confirm. So here we're gonna get some reward here. I'm not sure, 15 winners, something like that. This one, if you want to repost the post, you have a chance to get some avatar coins, which is nothing. Like, there are nothing good avatar there. I mean, if you like something there, it can be good. Otherwise, 500, that is nothing. This one is screenshot event, where you have to take a photo with this, for example, this with the other character, and you have a chance to win some really good stuff. I think this is like Blu-ray stuff. Yeah, Blu-ray, and then some limited movie stuff. So you can give it a try if you want, but I believe this is just Japanese exclusive only. And here you can see they're really holding another screenshot event, which they did talk about in the live stream. So if you're into that, go ahead. And this one looks pretty good though. I've noticed this one. So we might get a slime avatar, which is pretty good. I really like this one, so hopefully we can get that. And for the avatar, well, it will be a gacha base, like I mentioned in my previous video. It won't be the same as Persona 5 where they gave us a free avatar. They're gonna do the same like they did for the Tale series. Avatar gonna be limited for during the time, and you have a chance to get some different outfit here. You can see here you have a chance to get Venomer's outfit, Shion outfit, Milim, Rimuru, Shuna, and Diablo. Kind of weird that they chose this specific character. For example, maybe there's some people really want the Veldora outfit or a cheese outfit. That will be really nice, you know. But I guess this is the only thing we are getting so far. Maybe in the future they're gonna add part 2. We don't know that yet. But this is gonna be the avatar we are able to get, and this one gonna be a guaranteed, of course, how they did on the Tale of Series banner. Alright, now let's talk about the banner, which probably a lot of people have been waiting for. So this is gonna be part 1. Keep in mind this is part 1. We are getting a part 2, but they did not reveal when that's gonna be released or what the part 2 gonna have. So we're just gonna focus on part 1 for today. Part 1 banner, the collab, you can see is a step up banner, 5-step with guarantee on the 5th step and the 1st step. First step won't give you a guaranteed limit scale. It's gonna be a random 4-star, and step 5 will be the one that give you the limited 4-star. So we have Silka, Koharu, Argo, and Kirito. Kind of funny that Kirito is Veldora. I thought Kirito will be with Rimuru, but surprise, I changed, right? And you can also see that Silka, a new full burst, Koharu, new chain, and Argo, new link scale. So for Kirito, it will be a pass scale, not only a normal pass scale, it is an angry pass scale. Yes, angry. If you don't know what angry is a passive that can apply a mark on the enemy when using switch, and that mark will give you double damage on your next skill, and it's really good, especially in late game content. Like most of the endgame players are using angry, is so really good, especially when doing solo content, and Koharu can use other stuff. Sometimes you can't really rely on the mark, so you have to do it by yourself. And here you have example a good engrave. We have AG, Lifa, Elizabeth, Medina, and Xeno. All these 5 is like top tier pass skill, must have. And now we have a chance to get the engrave, so this is gonna be really good. I believe a lot of people will try to get this one, especially for those that doesn't have engrave. This is like the best skill to have, especially in the end game, and probably also gonna be really good for those that are like mid game players or early game players. To be honest, early game players usually be fine without it, but once you reach the late game, you definitely really want this one. I will talk more about this skill when this banner gonna be released, which is gonna be tomorrow. There's gonna be a lot of deep talking about this skill. Next one, we have the Silka. So Silka gonna be a full burst dag skill, focus on fire element. Kind of interesting that they put it fire. It could be water, because right now with the content that got released, it's mostly focused on water, slash and water, and this one is fire. If you look into fire, there aren't that many content that is weak to fire, except for floor 100 that maybe can use there. When you grind for other stuff, not that many is weak to fire, so it's kind of weird they put fire here. If it was water, I believe this one could be one of the best dagger skill in the game to get. But since this is fire, I guess it's gonna be really good for any slash fire weakness, which aren't that many at the moment. For GOG, the boss gonna be weak to slash and water, so it's kind of useless, but maybe gonna be really good for the event, the slime event together. And it has this analyze 4 buff, which is pretty useless, don't really care. And then it can also afflict burn if you're into that, can be good. For the full burst, you need to do fire, fire, slash fire, so you will need a lot of fire skill. And the multiplier, it do 5500, which is small multiplier, because if you compare it to the other skill, they are kind of reaching 6000, so a lot more. I'm not sure why they didn't increase this one. It should be 6000 bonus, but 500 less. I don't know about that, but it has some really good bonus though, so maybe that's why. So for the bonus, it has 3 different bonus. The first one, increase attack power by 1000 against strike type enemy, those that are using blunt, right? So enemy that's weak to slash, that's pretty good. And then if you equip 3 Silka skill in the same set, crit rate will be increased by 500%. So gonna be really good most of the content on chapter 1, because the boss there doesn't have that high crit resistance, but once you reach chapter 2, they will have a lot of crit resistance, so will be really hard, but gonna be really useful for chapter 1 or any event content, or maybe GOG, can be really nice. And then the third bonus, this one is kind of special because you need 7 silica skill in the same set. And this one gives you 400% attack, or the skill will get 400 attack if you have 7 silica skill. Next one we have Karo. This is gonna be a chain sword skill. So this is our first Kaharu sword skill. Kaharu had never had a sword skill before. She has many dagger, many rapier, many mace, many axe. She does have spear, which is surprising because spear, who likes spear? And then we have what? Oh, what I was forgetting? Bow. We finally got our first sword skill, that is Kaharu. So that's pretty nice. So Kaharu gonna be a chain skill that focuses on fire element, so gonna be really good in a fire sword build. And it's gonna be the same as other link skill, where it gives you fire stacking, and if you're using switch, you got a 9 stack, so gonna be really nice. And then for the chain effect, when you're using in a chain mode, you are getting 50% more fire element damage and also 1000 attack if you have a fire buff on yourself. So this is gonna be really good in a fire build for sword. And for the last one, we have Argo, which is in the Diablo outfit. Kind of surprising. I wonder why, but maybe she is like Diablo, powerful, strong. I'm not sure. So Argo, she gonna be a spear skill, link spear skill, with a really high multiplier AoE. It has a really good debuff for dark element and also increasing frost weakness. So this is gonna be really good in a spear build. And also for the link effect, it gives more damage to link skill. It will give you more dark damage for link skill, and also more attack if the enemy has a debuff. So this is gonna be really good there. So it's not a bad skill for spear. So yeah, that was all of them, and I will talk more about the skill once the ban is out. I will go more in depth, talk more about it. It's gonna be a long video, to be honest, especially about the Kirito one. For the last one, it was about the side event or the side story. So we are getting additional story, and this one more into with the character. We can see here we will have a story with Diablo, with Shuna, with Shion, Milim, and Benamaru. You will see how the story is. They did showcase a clip here. Let's see if I can find it. So you can see here, Silka will be with Milim. You can see here, and let's go back a little bit more. Oh, Elizabeth will be with Benamaru, etc. So more side story if you're into that, and we are also getting more limited stamp. And this is all the stamp we are getting. A lot of good stuff, especially this one, Lumi, Vertical in Tensura universe, and a lot of ribbon stamp that can be very nice. So I believe that was everything I want to cover from the live stream, and let's do a recap real quickly here. I know I've been recording too long now. So to recap everything, we have upcoming events and the collab with Tensura. For the upcoming events, we have a lot of events that are going to be really useful for those that are grinding. Ring campaign, Xenon dungeon, free ingot poles, assault event, UG, board quest event, Elizabeth dungeon, guild campaign, daily dungeon that can do more than once, and then we have Liva dungeon, pretty nice. Then we have Liva dungeon, more ladders if you want to limb break your skill. And then last one we have Squad Jumble, will be on 28th of January, which will be a while. And for the Tensura collab, we are getting a lot of stuff here. We are getting panel mission and Logan bonus, where you can get some limited stamp, some Arcane gem, and some limited skill cord. Link campaign, this is gonna be a campaign between the both games, Integral Factor and Slime in Sky Memory. The event will be tomorrow, where we have to work together to collect some points, to get some reward. For Integral Factor, we are getting 2,500 Arcane gems in total and a limited stamp. And for the Slime in Sky Memories players, we are getting 10 standard poles, a guaranteed 5-star, and regular stamp, a million stamp. I guess the stamp is more worth it, but these two not really worth it. We're getting Avatar banner, where it can be like Rimuru, Shuna, Diablo, depends what you get. And then we also have the skill banner. This is part 1. Part 2 will be released next week, I believe, or 2 weeks, it really depends. And the 4 new skill we are getting are Silka, Koharu, Argo, and Kirito. And then last one, we will also get some side story. The side story will be available on the 15th of January. So if you want to know more about the character, you have to wait a little bit. That was everything you need to know from the live stream recap. Let me know in a comment if you have any question, and I will try my best to answer. Other than that, that's for me. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Take care now, and bye bye.